Alright, so, anyways, and yes, I know I'm in a dressing gown. The reason why is because I'm absolutely cold, so don't judge me there, please. So, yeah. But, anyways, what we're going to be talking about is things we have all done in secondary school, or high school, if you want to call it that. So, basically, all the things we've done in secondary school, that's what we're going to be discussing today. Like, throughout the years that mostly everyone have done, really. So, anyways, other than that, let's get into this, shall we? Okay, so first thing is that the year sevens in their first day at the secondary school is always bringing those big bags, like they're going to stay there for a week. Like they always like pack all their books and pencil cases, all that stuff. They just bring it in, and then it just feels like that they're gonna stay there for a week, but which are actually not. Like, how many stuff do you need? You only just need the pencil case, and that's usually it. Oh yeah, and another thing as well is that at lunchtime, like literally, like you're in the canteen, you're eating your lunch, and basically there's always that one kid who always wants the last bit of your food. Like he's like, oh yeah, save some of that chicken for me, please, mate. And in reality, you could just say no, just go and get your own, mate. Literally. Oh yeah, and even speaking of first days as well from earlier, that who remembers where you can literally just have fun on the first day? Like you don't get to do any work, like you can literally just have fun on that first day, and literally, like you just have fun. It's your first day, and you're just getting used to it, and literally, that's what you do. Like literally. Alright, now I don't know if this was your school, and this was definitely my school, but I'm not sure if this was yours. But we've always had this thing called the Hall of Fame. Like literally, like the hall that everybody just does like a random walk down, like the famous, like whether it's a catwalk or a groove walk, and everybody usually just grooves down that corridor like it's the Hall of Fame. Like literally, they think them on the walls of the Hall of Fame, and they just use the bags on the pegs as basically pictures, and then basically and just like, yeah, I'm in the Hall of Fame, yeah, thank you, yeah. Yeah. Alright, now who remembers substitute teachers? Those ones, or supply teachers. Basically, those teachers were absolutely didn't care. Like, it was your job to terrorize them. Like, let's say, like, your teacher's, like, off sick, and basically you get a supply teacher or substitute teacher, whatever you want to call it, and basically they walk in the room, and then basically it was your job now just to have fun. Like you could just have fun when they was around. Like you like just don't do your work, terrorize them, and literally just have fun. And and speaking of them, and speaking of substitute teachers, who remembers where you and your mate pretend to change names? Like for example, like I'm gonna be blooming John, and John's gonna be Riley for the day. Like basically, when your teacher calls out your name, saying who is John, and then I also say, oh yeah, it's me, and then basically there's always that one kid who's just grassy saying, no, you're not, you're Riley. Like literally, don't you like having fun, mate? Literally. Oh yeah, another thing as well. Who remembers throwing a party when the teacher's like out the room? Like if the teacher says, "Oh yeah, I'm going to the printer for just 2 minutes," and as soon as that teacher's out, when no teachers are in the room, everyone just has a party. Like they just have a party. Like whatever they do, they dance around, they blast the music, and literally they just there's always that one kid who always just stands outside and waits and keeps a lookout for the teacher. And as soon as he's about to come back, and always like, "Oh wait, teacher's coming! Quick, quick, quick!" And literally, and then the teacher's like coming back in after like nothing's happened, where you've literally just had a party when he was gone. Oh yeah, and who remembers those people who just gets their phones out in lesson? Like, like when they're given a test. Like they're doing a test and they don't know, and they always sneakily put their phones on their leg with their jumper on their lap, like that, like the jumper's on the lap and the phone's not there. Oops. And literally, once the jumper's on the laps, and then in reality your phone's there, like literally your phone's there, and then basically just Google the answers, like they're just like they're scratching their leg, but they're actually just on their phones. Like they're literally on their phones, just googling the answers, and then basically they just seem to get one right, like most of them right and some wrong, like literally. All right, and who remembers the teacher that always persuades you to read? Like literally, you're not like you don't put your hand up as a volunteer, and the teacher just picks you to read, and then you go up to in front of the class, and then you read, and then as soon as you do a voice crack, everyone just laughs at you, like you're saying, and then until then, and then, and basically, yeah. Oh yeah. Now I don't know if this was your school, but I remember having this thing called reminders and warnings, like literally, or just warning marks on the board if you've ever had them. Like if you just do something silly or break one of the rules, you're given a reminder, and if you start again, and then you're given a warning, and if you get up to like if I get to 3 warnings, you get sent out of the class, and if you get 4, you're straight in the detention or the quiet room. I basically had the quiet room as a detention room, and then basically if you had 4 warnings, you're straight there, literally. Oh yeah, and speaking of detentions and quiet rooms, who remembers like where you just go in there and you always say, well, most of the people will always say, God, this is like a prison. Like you treat it like it's a prison, like you just sit there, do nothing, and basically it was really the best thing, really, because basically you could just do anything in there. You could just sleep, or just basically just have a dream, really. But obviously, but don't try that if it's a bit harsh on you. Oh yeah, and who remembers where you used to see kids trading things? Like basically if they're trading in video games or sweets, chocolates, or basically just anything. Like they're trading anything and they just make some money from it. Like they always trade things, and basically like which was kind of a good thing, but in the end, the teacher can get a bit naggy and always asks you to give it back to the person. But just don't do it whilst the teacher's watching, yeah? Oh yeah, and who remembers the school trips? Like literally, like basically, you would just go on school trips. Like basically, those were the best days so far. Like literally, there's a teacher who always comes up with a school trip idea, whether it's to Drayton Manor, Alton Towers, just anywhere, and basically what you do is like then you volunteer to put your name down, and basically, and then a couple of days after you're just ready to go, like literally, like you don't get to do any work, you get to do whatever you want, like when you get there. But the annoying thing is though is that you have to stay with your teacher whilst on that trip. Like you just stay with your teacher. Oh yeah, and who remembers those lazy people who like, for example, like if somebody's got no water left in their water bottle, and they always ask someone and like to go and fill up their water bottle, and basically, and they just treat them like slaves. Like they go and like they just tell you to go and fill up their water bottle, because they can't be asked to move, and they can't get off their lazy fat arses and just get some exercise. Like they always get someone to do it for them. Like just don't be a lazy ass and get up and do it yourself, mate. Oh yeah, and this one is basically when you try and look for a girlfriend on the playground. Like you see a girl that you like, and this was definitely on Valentine's Day. Like I always see that one kid who was just bringing red roses, chocolates, and literally, and just give it to their crush, and then basically they just take it from them, like literally. And speaking of girls at school, who remembers that one particular girl who literally just sits next to their crush and acts like they're going out when you're literally not? Like they always think you're going out with that person, but you're actually not, and it's embarrassing really because this happened to me with the nerdy girls. Really, I'm not hating on them or anything. I just basically love them. But yeah, there's always that one girl like who literally just pretends you're going out with that person, like, and you are literally are not going out with them. And this was yeah, that was literally embarrassing. Like literally, I couldn't even understand. Like this wasn't even told to the whole school, and it was literally embarrassing me. Like literally, and I didn't really kind of like it. But that what this was all about. Oh yeah, and I don't know if this one was also your school, but who remembers like if you didn't bring in a pencil and you would literally get a detention straight away? Like that was the piss tech thing I've ever seen. Like literally, all because I didn't bring in a pencil, I go straight to detention. Like literally, like what's the matter with you, eh? Like, don't you want to like, all because I didn't bring in a pencil? Like, it's always us teachers who always come up with the weird excuses to put you in detention or the quiet room for, all because you didn't bring in a pencil. Like literally, like you didn't bring in a pencil and then you just literally get sent to the detention room. Like literally, find some other excuses to put it in detention apart from just some bloody pencil. Oh yeah, and who remembers those kids who literally who always likes puts like a video on the smartboard of any video, it's on the smartboard and everyone just like watches it. Like they don't want to do work, they just put it on the smartboard and then just watch it. Like literally, that's what school needs to be like nowadays. Oh yeah, and who remembers those groups in lessons where basically you're not with your whole, basically you obviously you're always with your whole class for every day of the lesson, but even numbers where you're put in a different set of people in your year or below you, and literally you go and work with them for a couple of days, and basically like whether you go to a vocational training centre or you're doing animal care and or something like that, and basically you're put with a different group of people from different years, when this is usually when you're in year 11 really, but I don't know if this was your school, but this was definitely mine. Oh yeah, and I don't know if this was also your school as well, but who remembers those kids who literally just always like wears any jumper they want, like not their school jumper, like they just wear any jumper they want, whether it's an Adidas jumper or a Nike jumper, or even like just any jumper, like basically. And but basically we didn't have blazers, we just basically had jumpers and shirts, and basically they just wear any jumper apart from their school jumper, and basically they just wear whatever they want really. And speaking of uniforms, who remembers that some particular kids who literally just wear anything they want that isn't school uniform, like they wear a hoodie or a white t-shirt or even trucky bottoms or trainers, like they just wear whatever they want. They don't wear school uniform, they just wear whatever they want. Oh yeah, and I don't know if this was also your school, but who remembers where the teacher always complains that girls are better than the lads? Like, okay, so like basically, if you're on the doing work on the computer, and let's say you name things like a computer's good for, and basically, or like technology's good for, and basically, like the lads usually always put like for watching YouTube videos like KSI or the Sidemen, all that. Ben Phillips, all them, and basically they just name like the YouTube stuff. But basically, that's what YouTube is good enough for, using technology. And then there's always, and then the girl puts like for doing work and all that, which I don't blame them because that's what you do, don't you? That's what using a computer's for, like to work and all that, and basically. And then there's always that teacher that always says, I wonder why the girls are more better than the boys, because the boys only just care about YouTube consoles, and basically there's always that teacher who complains that, and basically what? I do play consoles, that's what I do, you know? What else am I gonna do? Like, just go out and just bloody find some blooming chavvy girl on the streets or something? But yeah, like literally, playing consoles is good for us. Even I even see girls play consoles. Like basically, is that sexist to you? Like, what, lads can play consoles and girls can't? Like, literally, I've seen girls play consoles. Literally. But other than that, yeah, you do get those women sexist teachers who doesn't care about the lads and they always complain that the girls are better. Those sexist teachers, they need to say. Alright, now, who remembers the school prom? Like, literally, you're done your whole years at secondary school and it's time for you to leave and to go to college or sixth form university, you name it. And basically, you're always throwing a prom. Like, literally, you come in your best suit or you dress, and basically, you always go with your crush. Or basically, this is how you basically get a girlfriend nowadays at proms, really. And basically you enjoy your time at your prom, and then the day after it's time for you to actually leave, and they call off one last assembly for us, saying goodbye, and good luck for your future. And basically, you've always seen those kids who cry. Well, which is basically what everyone does really. Like if you leave, you obviously cry, and basically because you're gonna miss them. And basically, you get one last assembly, and then you're just straightly off, like you're gone, and you're looking up to the future of your life. But basically, so anyways, that's it for this video. And if you want to see things we've all done in primary school, be sure to give this video a like. And basically, and I'll do that things we've all done in primary school. So basically, that was all the things we've done in secondary school. And anyways, with that out of the way, I want to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you lot in my next video.